At the game you'll be at this weekend, Hodge, the Montreal Alouettes are 6.5-point home underdogs to the visiting Toronto Argonauts. These teams met at BMO Field last week, where the Argos ran roughshod over the Owls, winning 39-10 to punch their ticket to the playoffs. If Toronto can get another win this weekend, they will officially clinch first place in the East Division and host the East Final for a third straight year. Who you have straight up and against the spread?
I'm going to say the same thing about the Montreal Alouettes here that I did earlier about the Riders, which is they're not that guy, right? This is a 500 team with a few really big bright spots, a few holes on the roster, some really good coaching in some respects, coaching that's maybe been lacking in other respects. I do not see this being a particularly close game. I could see the Argos taking their foot off the gas partway through the game, as we've seen them do at times this year after building a lead, but I still have them winning and winning relatively big in La Belle Provence. I will take the Argos to win and cover this spread. I would consider taking Montreal against the spread if it went up to about 8 points. Right now it's 6.5. I'm very happy to roll with the Toronto Argonauts.
I was incredibly confident with my pick last week that the Argos were going to cover their big 10.5-point spread against Montreal. And of course they did, right? That was a dominant blowout win that showed just how big the chasm is between these two teams in the East Division playoff race. But in this situation, it's hard to beat teams back-to-back, and it's even harder to blow out teams on back-to-back weeks. I think there's a backdoor cover here for the Alouettes at home, even at 6.5 points. So I'll pick them to cover, but the Argonauts are the better team, and they'll win again this week.